Hey Baddies! In this video I'm making a rosemary caramel apple pie. It's filled with layers of cinnamony apples and rosemary caramel sauce. It's definitely not your average apple pie, but it's literally one of the best things I've ever eaten, so just trust me, make this pie, I'll show you how, and let's get to it. The first thing we're going to make is the crust. Combine the flour, sugar, rosemary, and salt, and whisk them together until well combined. Next, we're going to add in the butter, which I've already cut into small cubes. Squish the cubes of butter between your fingers as you mix the butter in with the flour. Next, add the cold water. I like to incorporate it in stages, and you want to mix in the water just until everything is well combined. Be careful not to overwork the dough, because this could cause your crust to end up tough and chewy, and we definitely don't want that. Divide the dough into 2 large portions and 1 smaller portion. The 2 large ones will be for the top and bottom crust, and the smaller one will be used to create a leaf decoration on the top of the pie. Flatten the dough into discs, wrap them in plastic, and leave them in the fridge to rest for at least an hour. Now it's time to make the filling. I start by peeling the apples. I'm using jazz apples here, but you can use whichever ones you like. I then cut the apples into slices, which were about 1/8 of an inch thick. I used 5 apples for this filling, which, after peeling and slicing, weighed about 700 grams. Next, we're going to combine the rest of the filling ingredients together before adding them to the apples. Lightly mix together the brown sugar, granulated sugar, flour, nutmeg, and cinnamon in a separate bowl. Squeeze about a tablespoon of lemon juice into the apples, but make sure it actually lands in the bowl. Add in the sugar mixture, toss it all together, and set it aside. For the caramel, I simmer the heavy cream with 2 sprigs of rosemary on low heat. After about 7 minutes, remove the rosemary. By this time, the apples will have released their juices, and I'm going to carefully pour this liquid into the heavy cream and whisk it together. Next, whisk in the brown sugar and a pinch of salt. Continue to cook the caramel for about 3 to 4 minutes until it's nice and thick, then turn off the heat and set it aside to cool. Now it's time to roll out the pie crust. Make sure it's rested in the fridge for at least an hour. Take one of the larger discs and roll it out until it's about 10 inches in diameter. Next, take an outer edge of the dough and fold it into the center, and work your way around the dough until all the edges are folded in. This will help create more flaky layers in the crust. Flip the dough over, pat it into a circle, and continue rolling it out until it's about 14 inches in diameter. Place the dough into a 9-inch pie dish to form the bottom crust, and leave it in the fridge to rest. Repeat this process for the second portion of the dough to form the top crust, and set it aside on a floured baking sheet. Finally, we're going to roll out the third and smallest portion of dough to make the decoration. I use a knife to cut out leaves of all different sizes and cut notches into the middle and sides of the leaves. Feel free to be creative with this part and make the decoration however you like. Place the rolled out dough in the fridge so that the butter doesn't melt while you assemble the rest of the pie. Scoop a third of the apple filling into the bottom crust and top it with a third of the caramel. Repeat this process 2 more times so that you have 6 layers of apple and caramel. Place the top crust over the pie, fold it over the bottom crust, and press it to seal. Then use your fingers to crimp a border around the crust. Brush the top of the pie with an egg wash, which I made just by beating 1 egg with a pinch of salt. Next, lay the leaves on top of the pie in a cute decorative pattern and finish it off by brushing the leaves with some more egg wash. Be sure to cut slits into the top crust to allow steam to escape while baking. Place the finished pie in the fridge while your oven preheats. Then bake it at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes and then at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for another 30 minutes. It's best to let the pie cool for at least 2 hours before cutting into it to give the filling some time to set, but I promise this pie is definitely worth the wait.